Oh, I'm MC Toon, and it's Tuesday night, and I have a debate scheduled with Phillip PJ Corrigan. Let me get it up here. Let's see. There it is. All right, everybody, welcome, Phillip. Just go ahead and introduce yourself, Phillip. Oh, that's right. As you can tell, Phillip is a dog, and that particular dog is female. That's right. Phillip, after all of the talk, and I'll go over it, that he put up, he runs. Hey, Phillip, why'd you run? Why, after all the words that you said and all the bluster that you had on Facebook and in private chat with me, why after all that, Phillip, did you run? All right, well, let's get a couple things, a couple of the choice words you said up on screen here, so people can see and really get a feel for what kind of person you are, Phillip. What kind of person? All right, I gotta jump over to the jump over to here. I got a whole folder of flurfs, and let's see. I'm gonna start with the Facebook comment that started it all. And when you did that, I'm like, oh, that's bold. So here goes. Hold on, I gotta get loaded in. There it goes, right there. All right, I'll get the just overlay it on top of the picture of Phillip here. The dog that is not a male dog. All right, getting it ready. Here comes. All right, so here is the Facebook comment that he said that started it all off, and I'll read it to you. I'll skip a few words. He says, nailed it. Some flurf had said something about making these globe Fs stutter and fumble and bumble to try to explain the many contradictory principles of the heliocentric horsepucky. It brings me much joy and levity. I mean, he used words correctly, at least. But he didn't stutter and fumble and bumble to try to explain the contradictory principles. The contradictory principles are you not understanding things because you're not smart enough, Phillip. So to that I said, well, let's have a debate. And so I challenged him to debate me last week, but it didn't work out. It was too late in the day when let me set it, but I'll write. Let's see. Come on. This one here, I think. Yeah. So the second one, and they're in the thumbnail. So here we have the second thing where I said, I quoted him, and I said, will you back up this keyboard warrior typing with a face-to-face debate? I said tonight. Didn't happen that night because of schedules. It was a little late in the day. And then he says, sure, buddy. I'm always game for some healthy debate. I've never participated or watched anything like what you're talking about. What would an outline of something like that look like? I'm just some guy with a lot of questions. So he went from insulting like that, stutter and fumble and bumble, to I'm just a guy with a bunch of questions. If you'd paid attention in school, the questions were answered there. Nobody else's fault but yours that you didn't pay attention in school. All right. Well, let's look at the final one here, where this was in the DMs. Oh, it kind of popped it up already. So there's that. So I sent him a message. I said, Tuesday, tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time. He said, it's you and I, 3 o'clock sharp this afternoon, you die. I don't know why when I said Tuesday, he said 3 o'clock sharp this afternoon. I don't know. Then he goes, don't try to run from me. You'll just make it worse. I reiterated. I said, I'm fine for negotiating a time. I said Tuesday, August 9, 8 p.m. Central, 500 people will watch it live chat. 10,000 will watch in the first week, which is about on par for these debates. He goes, bring it on, little guy. I'll see you then. You best not bitch out either. I'm here. I'm here. Where are you, Phillip? I'm here. I've been here. You're not. You're not here. He says, I use my real Facebook with my real name with real pictures. It's public. You're a keyboard warrior hiding behind a private account. When I embarrass you next week, I expect you to dox yourself, but you won't because you're a punk ass bitch that gets up trying to bully people and put their stuff on blast. Get ready. I'm ready, but where are you? Phillip, you're not here. Where are you, Phillip? Apparently, he's unaware that my face is on video every week. Not hiding behind anything. Oh, I asked him where he is in DMs. Yeah, it's Sean Hawkins. So he has not. So he read the message. Let's see. So I replied to that. I said, sounds good. I'll make a thumbnail. Do you have an avatar? He didn't answer, but he read it. I said, I use Zoom for video conferencing. You can share your screen and present evidence. He read it, but did not answer. Then, yesterday, I said, here's the link to the video on YouTube. Sent him to the link to this video. And then I put a screenshot of him calling me out. I said, your words to me. I hope you don't run. Earlier today, and then at 8 o'clock, I said, where are you? He's not read any of these messages. He's so scared. Phillip PJ Corrigan is so scared that he won't even log into Facebook. I said, wow, you won't live this down after what you said to me. So, Phillip. Hold on, I'm moving the photo. Come on, move. There we go. Phillip. Where are you, Phillip? You're not here. You're not here. That's a problem, Phillip. Anyway, so I did get a message from Ryan Casey, who said he's here if he needs me. Thank you, Ryan. And I responded to him, but he hasn't read it yet. So anyway, to Corey's debate. Let's see. We got Harry. I don't know why. Look, all right, Harry Knipple has a particular political. That's not. You don't need to. I don't do politics. This isn't a political thing, so I don't know why somebody would show up here and try to talk politics. But anyway, did I change shirts? Says RSC227. No, I didn't. This is the shirt I was wearing before. I have a little bit left. It was meatloaf too. I didn't say anything. It was some good meatloaf. Meatloaf isn't like my favorite, but man, this was good meatloaf. So yeah, turns out his DM was all BM. Bowel movement. Yes. Anyway, what shall we do? We can watch a couple videos and enjoy some derp. I have this is the most tabs I've ever had open, because the previous debate with Corey was supposed to be I was supposed to have 3 presentations, and obviously, as it was, with just 2 rounds, went long. It was long. They cannot just get to stuff. So, oh my gosh, I am eating meatloaf with the bat out of hell on my t-shirt. There it is. Let's explore Summergate. That's a good idea. I think we can do that. So I prepared all three. And I really only showed like two, and then a little bit of the next one. Because to Corey, he's just a gish gallop is all he has. So all right, I'm gonna close these out here and get just, yeah. He's like that horizon wasn't curved much. It's not supposed to be curved much. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. It should not be curved much. And he's like, he wanted more curve. Sorry, that's the wrong amount of curve. You wanted more than there exists. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. So when should I, oh, King Crew. Right. I'm gonna get Summergate. I found a thing. King Crew. I'll get it. I got to send it. You're right. I need to. So, all right. I'm going to get this link here, Summergate. I'll put it up on the screen and we can explore Summergate together. So, where's that? There's this. The mother of all conspiracy theories, Summergate. I made it a little too big. Let me bring it back a little. There we go. Too tall. I need to shorten it just a bit. There we go. All right. As the world seems to be headed in a direction, when was this? There's some Korean up at the top here. All right. So we've been force-fed the globe. So the following map found drifting around the internet illustrates the idea rather well. Oh my gosh. How incredibly stupid. But there's this gate. And there's some name to it that's in a language that I don't think I'm going to be able to pronounce. And it's got little dirt clods around that are supposedly things that were explored. When were they explored and by who? Well, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll find out. The flat earthers will be familiar with the idea of Antarctica. According to the theory, during summertime in Antarctica, the ice melts through ships can pass called the Summergate. Other details of this map, such as sun and moon cycle, names of unknown continents, is not necessary to do with the theory. Okay. Oh my gosh. If you investigate the same location on Google Maps below New Zealand, a bit to the east, you'll find the place near McMurdo Station seems stitched together. All of Google images are stitched together. Seriously. How this isn't hard. Very roughly compared to the most of the coastline is seen below. At the time of the writing, you see for yourself following this link. All right, let's see what it brings up. Yes, amazing. There's stuff there. Whoop-de-doo. So I don't know what those are. Maybe it's just that. Oh, it's different satellites, right? So the blue right on the edge, that's one satellite. And the water here that's black, that's a different satellite. So there isn't a whole lot of interest to getting detailed satellite pictures of the ocean. The satellites aren't mapping the ocean for photographs. So Google doesn't need that. So they prefer to have photographs of the land be high quality, and they don't care much else. So near McMurdo, I don't know offhand where McMurdo is. Is that it? I don't know. Maybe it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's McMurdo. I keep saying it wrong. McMurdo. So there you go. There's the McMurdo. So with Summergate, note the reasons to believe the conspiracy. It lists the military activity is banned there, and the military will kill you if you go there. Wow, which one is it? Oh my gosh. All right, 3 solid reasons why you should consider this theory. All have to do the seemingly diplomatic miracle called the Antarctic Treaty. 1, capitalism refrains from harvesting natural resources of Antarctica. Okay, there's a treaty. Prohibition of military activity. there's one thing the United States does not compromise on is military strategical positions. If you know the story of Diego Garcia military base, however, bottom of the world Antarctica should have an unparalleled strategical military advantage. Why? Why? It's far away from all of the places that we might be interested in attacking. Seriously. Seriously. Oh, all right. Jeez. All right. There's a rocket launch. Hold on a second. There's a rocket launch going on. I love watching the SpaceX. So the other three, so some sort of a military advantage for either of the other three military powers, US, Russia, and China. It's not, because it's very far away from the United States, from China, and from Russia. The North Pole is much more interesting, but it's just ice there. And yet they've all agreed that this is off limits. What could be the common interest of these superpower militaries? You may be killed. All right, so yes, good. No military activity, you may be killed. It looks like it is unlikely to ever happen. Several rumors exist that you may find yourself at the wrong end of a swift military action. Of course, the military action that's prohibited. Seriously, people, put your brain on. All right, hold on a second. All right, here is the launch that's happening apparently. Oh, and there it goes. I mean, we're late.
Absolutely. And another favorite part of stream here, if you look on the first stage view, if you see what kind of looks like lit up spider webs in the background, those are cities across Florida. I think the main one just to the right of the left grid fin is Orlando, but I may not be right there. But you can see the coast of Florida there, which I think is always great to see. And you can also actually see the curve of the Earth on the far left side of the screen there. Again, both vehicles are now well above the carbon line and well outside the atmosphere.
It's not.
The first stage will be slowing down as it reaches the peak of its ballistic arc before then coming back down, while the second stage is ascending to orbit.
Oh, they removed the feed of the first stage.
I always love seeing that. I hope they keep it for re-entry.
Well, this isn't.
Yeah, also when it is full moon, I believe it is full moon now, you can still see, even though it's pitch black, like it's darkness right now, but you can still see something because of that brightness from the full moon, or at least near full moon, I guess. And yeah, it's amazing. It's almost magical in some sense. Sometimes you can even see the reflection of the moon on the water from reflected on the water of the ocean, which is amazing. But yeah, it's a little bit sad that they removed that.
Yeah, it's always sad. The stage one kind of cuts in and out a little bit here, but there are always some constant stage two views, and that engine is always very bright. Now, coming up here in about a minute or so, or about 2 minutes, we're going to see the entry burn on the first stage. Now, Alex, what is the entry burn? What are we going to be looking for during that burn?
So the entry burn, the entry burn is the burn that the first stage does once it is going through the thickest parts of the atmosphere. Right now it is at about apogee or so, but it is coming down, and once it encounters thicker and thicker air, it just lights one engine, then another two, for 3 engines in total, and then it shuts down those 2 and then the center engine. And that burn is done that way. The reason for its existence is because it protects the engines, it protects the booster when it is re-entering, and it also slows down the booster as it is re-entering. So it's a little bit of everything, right? And the reason why it is 1-3-1 is because that way, with the first one, it settles the kerosene on the bottom of the tank. It's way down and in the level of the liquid. And so that allows them to settle properly that thing, because people think, oh, well, but it's coming almost straight up, right? But now it's still, the RCS thrusters, it's almost still like not 0G, but not entirely full 1G too. So it's still moving around, and there's very little liquid. So you need something to settle that, and that's done with the first engine, the center engine. We should be seeing that feed come up here if SpaceX allows us to see that. But yeah, and probably in 20 seconds, I believe, she'll be coming up. Yep. Sometimes people always ask to, oh, there we go. Here it
Oh,
comes.
there we go.
I'll address that later.
Or it looks like actually a bit of re-entry heating.
Yep.
And I hope they keep this shot because I love watching the first stage go through re-entry. The grid fins light up. It's just beautiful to watch.
Oh.
It looks like they're kind of pre-starting, preconditioning the engines right now. A little bit of liquid oxygen.
Yeah.
I'm looking from here at the press site. Sometimes we get a look from here, but it's
There
pretty
we go.
hazy.
There we go.
Yeah, we see nothing here.
Gotcha. Now, if you look in the bottom left of your screen, you'll see the first stage is slowing down dramatically as it descends through the atmosphere, but also as all three engines are now firing on the first stage. So slowing the stage down, protecting it from re-entry, and hopefully we'll get a nice shot of it after engines cut off here. Now, watch the grid fins. Look at how they're lighting up. It is re-entering the atmosphere as we speak. One of my favorite parts of the webcast right here.
Yeah. Now, see, this is when the air is even thicker. So now the grid fins are really like at full power, so to speak.
Yep.
That's when they
is on
best
the
work.
rocket.
Yeah,
Seems like
what-
there's
problem.
a lot of garbage coming home in front of the camera.
Yep.
Which I guess
first stage.
Yeah.
But that's
So
fine. It's
rapidly
totally
quick
normal.
here on the right, people always see the thin layer here of mylar, I think it is, or something like that, pulsing. That is some kind of protection thing that is on the MVAC engine, and when it pulses, it's
Where's the
because the RCS
RUS?
thrusters on the second stage are firing. So, and people always ask about that. So there you go. There's always like the eyes, what's the thing that drops off from the MVAC, and the foil, like doing those pulsing things. Why is it pulsing?
Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Yep.
I always
we're
like to
coming up-
address those questions.
Yeah, and we're coming up on first stage landing burn,
Ooh.
and that will be followed shortly after by second stage cutoff and first stage landing. Looks like we've had first stage
There we go.
onboard shots from the drone ship right here. And I
Let's
believe
hope the signal stays.
Now, Julia, this is a drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas? Oh, I don't believe we have Julia on comms here, but
Yeah,
looks
Julia
like-
might be busy
Julia's
editing
not-
photos or
Julia's
something,
not
but it
here.
is a shortfall
Gotcha.
of gravitas.
She's not here.
Very cool.
And the
Oh,
frame
I'm muted.
recovery vessel
Sorry,
is
I muted
Doug.
because
Landed.
And first stage landing confirmed.
Woohoo!
Beautiful.
look
at the
that
moon.
beautiful shot.
Do you
Yeah.
know? All right. Do you know why they had trouble showing it before? Was because they were using not their own satellites. Now that they have their own satellites up, SpaceX is using their own satellites to transmit, because they can't send it to the ground station from the ship because the ship is too far from the ground station because of the curve of the Earth. So they sent it up to their own satellite, and now they can get a full landing. They can show it without interruption. Let's see if I can rewind it. There it goes. See if it watching for any interruptions. No, it's all overblown, right? You're seeing a lot of glare because it's at night, but during the daytime ones, when they do that, it's pretty nice. So, all right. Do we think we'll see HR Karen? It's not Marge, it's Betty. It's Betty in HR that you got to look out for. All right. So, where was I? We're looking at this bunch of derp. All right, so that was good. That's pretty cool. I love seeing that, but then they just send off the satellite. It's not as interesting. I like seeing the big bunch of fire coming out the bottom. So rumors exist. You may find yourself, military. One supposedly rogue expedition without authorization in the area close to where we estimate the location of Summergate resulted in multiple disappearances. And they've just made a claim, and that's it. That's all they have is a claim. right? Or is this real? All right, the Norwegian ship Berserk 2 disappeared in a storm, February 2009. 2 crew members of the Berserk 2 at the time on shore on a trip to the pole by hold on a second. They took like a quick trip to the pole on ATVs. It's not close. Oh my gosh, it's not close. And received a strange message from the vessel the day before its disappearance. There's a good atmosphere and all is well. We leave Horseshoe Bay. Contact us when you can. The crew members left ashore, found their way to safety through the McMurdo station, and was puzzled to learn that the New Zealand naval vessel HMNZS Wellington had been in contact with the Berserk 2 and found them and informed them of the incoming storm. As such, they were left in the question of whether or not their shipmates would leave safe anchorage in the Horseshoe Bay, knowing the storm approaching. So, nothing. All right. That's it. That's all that this one has. So, if anybody has other stuff on Summergate, go ahead and send it. Let's see. Don't get me wrong. Free Energies ideas are the most interesting at this stage. Yeah, they're all they don't understand science, right? Flurfs don't. And so they're super easy to fool on things like free energy. Perpetual motion machines, stuff like that. They don't understand anything. They're so dumb. Yeah, you would not use an ATV to go there. So this is pure craziness, but it's funny. The strange interview with Admiral Richard E. Byrd. What was strange about it? We talked about this in the last stream.
To the hour, brought to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. A presentation of the Longines Wicknor Watch Company, maker of Longines.
All right. Heat Shield says that I should look at the launch. All right. So here it comes. Back it up. The launch is the cool part. Let's be honest.
During at the countdown will be the go launch.
To get here.
All right, here we go, people. Buckle up.
Now we see engine ignition and liftoff. Falcon 9 carrying another 52 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit through the Starlink constellation. And the vehicle has cleared the
There
tower.
we go.
Stand by for the
Should be hearing
sound.
the rumble.
There we go.
That is an intense sound. When you're far away and you still hear that and it's loud, that's a lot.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Wow.
Falcon 9 generating a lot of vapor as it passes through maximum dynamic pressure.
That was actually through the speed of sound.
Oh,
They did the
yes.
call out of. Oh, there you go. Now Max. You.
Yep.
Well. Yeah.
They're around the
Sonic.
same time.
The sonic boom
And Max
is,
Q. Yep.
after
You
it
guys,
lands,
it's actually really cool.
is the best.
Looking through the Saharan dust is kind of
All right. That is cool. So yeah, so after it lands. You don't see it anymore because you're far enough away that you only see the tip because of the curve of the Earth. And then boom. So cool. And you don't just hear one, you hear two, like 2.5 kind of, because the grid fins have one, the bottom of the rocket engines have one, and like the bottom of the actual like tube of the rocket has one. So yes. All right. We were looking at this. All right. So I don't know why Flurfs, they just love this one here. This
tonight
Byrd.
found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole.
Beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole. Flurfs don't hear South Pole, they hear ice wall. Right? And this is a bad picture. I should get a better picture. Can somebody grab one and link it to me in the chat here? That'd be best, because I don't want to pop to Discord. Yeah, there's other explorers. But yeah, so the size of the United States on the other side of the pole, the South Pole.
From Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Well, Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
Well, Admiral,
Yeah.
would you say that since you've been to both the extremities of Earth, are these expeditions to such far-off places, are they getting easier because of modern techniques, or is danger still close at hand?
Well, it's a little risky, but nothing like it used to be with the old slow planes and the small cruising radius where we had to put down bases. We replaced the dog teams, and of course that was a big improvement.
Dog team.
But now the planes go much faster and they're safer, and they have a much bigger cruising radius. You haven't got the danger of a terribly heavy load.
Admiral, an expedition to which I believe you're the advisor is now en route. What is that expedition doing?
He ate the dog team.
Well, that's the icebreaker
Yeah, it's-
Atka, and it's a reconnaissance expedition. It's going down to the South Pole area to make certain observations and to look for some bases. They will be back in April, and they will report back, and upon the information we get from that undertaking, we will base the bigger expedition that's to follow.
Is that very definitely planned, or is that...
That is being planned right now. So I'm willing to say to you that there will be a number of expeditions that will follow, I think, year after year, at the bottom of the world, because the government has really become interested.
Well, Admiral Byrd, I can understand, I think everybody can, the interest in the North Pole because it's so near our greatest challenger, Soviet Russia. But why this interest in the bottom of the world? Nobody living down there, is there?
No, it's pretty cold. There's only one permanent resident, that's the emperor penguin. The little ones live further north. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime, because it happens to be an untouched reservoir.
All right, so some people have done stuff on this guy here. So we've got Mr. E-Man says a distress beacon from the vessel was detected 21 miles north of Scott Base at the time. At that time, the At the time, that area was experiencing hurricane force winds, 25-foot seas, and 12 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. So why was the small ship Berserk 2 lost? Well, there's a pretty decent explanation for it there. Right? So, yeah, man. Mute Dog says maybe the portal in the South Pole leads to the portal in the North Pole. Of course it does. Oh, I missed this one. Cody Payne for $5 says, Toon, why don't you take a field trip 8 or 9 miles toward the west side of town where it's noon? To Corey. Oh my gosh. He's like the sun will set when it's 8 or 9 miles away from you. And he couldn't fathom that the sun is never that close to me in Minnesota. It's never that close to him wherever he lives. He doesn't get it. He's stuck with it too. Oh, the poor guy. So dumb. Anyway, so yeah. All right, let's get back to this. All right, here's a map. All right, let's look at this though. Here's a map of Antarctica. So here's the Ross Ice Shelf there on the let's see, west, east. Oh, that is the south side in the Ross Sea. There, the Ross Ice Shelf. That's the kind of the shortest distance there to get to the South Pole, because you kind of come in you have the Weddell Sea, the other ice shelf. Those are pretty close. But yeah, so he was talking about the other side of the pole there, this big on the right side of the picture. That's the sides of the United States. And no people were there. Yes. Unexplored. Nobody's hanging out there.
Of natural resources. And, as the world shrinks with an ever-increasing acceleration, far-flung places once useless, like we thought the North Pole was, and no man's land, become very useful. The bottom of the world will be important, not only to us, but to our allies.
I was going to ask you, does it have military importance?
It has some, and as the world shrinks, it will continue to shrink with an ever-increasing acceleration, thus bringing these places closer. And in the future, I can see a time when it will be very, very important strategically.
Well, has the development of air power increased the strategic importance of places like the
very much
Palmer
so.
Peninsula, was it?
Very much so. Even now, if anything happened and we lost the Panama Canal, we would have to control the islands just north of Antarctica, which are part of Antarctica. Then between there and Cape Horn.
I've heard it said that there are 7 continents in the world, and one of them has never been seen by a woman, and that's Antarctica. Is that actually true?
Well, if the Palmer Peninsula is an island, as far as I know, that's true. No woman's ever stepped foot upon the Antarctic continent, and it's the most peaceful place in the world.
Well, I'm sure that won't last very long. I understand that now that you're working with the Arnold Bread Company in charge of frozen foods. Now, is there any future for frozen foods down these frozen extremities?
Well, I think the human race can be helped by that. This was thought out by Dean Arnold, who's, in my opinion, the great...
I don't think you would need to pay much for refrigeration costs there. A Land Without Women. Stringer News 1 says, Flirps here, no one has seen a woman. Yes, because they can't hear actual words. They just misinterpret them. Let me check to see if brave Phillip PJ Corrigan has shown up. He has not even read the messages yet. What a brave guy. Yeah, Timbo Turtle, it's this sort of talk of exploration and exploitation and the destruction of whales and other wildlife that led to the Antarctic Treaty. Exactly. People saw, it's not been ripped apart. It's not been, even, a long time ago before we've done even more. I think also people saw like it would be crazy expensive to try to do stuff there because there's this layer of water on top of everything that's frozen. So so yeah, and it's difficult to get in and out and transport stuff and all that. So anyway, Tim Pryor says, if you give me $150, I'll pretend to be a flat earth and go to a museum. Oh, Mitchell. I wouldn't. Oh, that would have been so sad that they didn't get the exhibit working for Mitchell to go there and film it. Oh, he would have. I mean, what would he have done? Here's the people in the chat. If he went there and it did process, what would he do? Would he not? I didn't go there yet. Right? Would he say that? Would he take a video and post it? I don't think so. Yeah. Obviously, if it did what he saw the other day, he would have been happy to post it. So he would tell whatever lie he needed to. Yes. Absolutely. Omega Red, can we get a Hollow Earth debate? Oh my gosh. So for the record, I was not in the camp that and you can watch Mr. Sensible's live stream on it. I did not say, I did not agree with the people that said that Mitchell faked the timestamps of the video. And people were wondering, people were asking him, and it's a legitimate question, but the answer is also legitimate. How was he there at 9 something in the morning when the museum opens at 10? And apparently there is a homeschool day, and they homeschool. And I know what homeschooling is like, and when we've gone to lots of homeschool day things, and they're never like really strict. There's usually not a lot of people there, so they don't have to be super strict about time frames and when something starts or stops. So it's completely possible that they got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, even though officially the homeschool time didn't start until 9:30, and they were still let in. Not something that I would say is unusual, and I would also, and so also I did not think that he was faking the video. So I suspect what actually happened was that something was not happening correctly. And if that was moving for 4 hours, as he said it was, and he never, and he didn't mention in his video anything about the magnitude of the swing, because in 4 hours, how could the magnitude of the swing be the same? It couldn't. So there's a couple options. It was the idea that it was faked. I'm not of that. It could have been restarted just before he got there, but that seems a little unlikely. Or it could have been not working right, which is what I think is what happened. So, and so if you haven't seen it, then he was going to go today. He was going to film it, and there was a sign on it that it wasn't working right, and the pendulum wasn't even there. Like the big stand was still there, but the pendulum was missing. So I think that he should go back to Mr. Sensible and say, hey, I didn't get what you paid me for. And I think he should go back once they get it working and reinstalled. So how was he there after it was closed? Well, let's see. He was there at 9 something in the morning. 10. So 9 to 10 is 1 hour. 11, 12, 1. And I don't think it closed at 1. I think it closed at 4 or 5 or something. So I don't think he was there after it closed either. Cinnamon Control for $10 says, I think Witsit would say they rigged it so he would see it process. Yeah, Witsit has said, Flurfs get dumber. Witsit has gotten dumber. Witsit has said that if if he ever went to space, they would drug him. Something like this. I don't remember exactly when it was that he said this, but he said that they would drug him to make him see it, and that he would not eat anything that somebody else gave him for days or something like that. I wonder if I can find that. That would be fantastic to find that. Let's see. Sean Hawkins says, but how was he after the close? Okay. Tim Pryor says it was just going to be like the Netflix documentary. He'll claim somebody else edited it. Could be. All right. I'm going to see if I can find Austin saying what he said about it's hard to find exact things, but let's see. Wonder if drugged has ever been something. Alien, what happened to the debate? Well, the guy ran away. He ran off. He was so brave that he ran away. So, let's see. Oh, he talks on so many stupid things. So, yeah, that's not. Oh my gosh, the things that he said, he's just so dumb. Witsit, you're so dumb. All right, I'm not going to do this right now. It takes too long. The Rabbit says for $5, how dare you challenge Flurf magic? Now take my money and go through the Summergate. Summergate, hashtag Summergate forever. Thank you, the Rabbit. Patrick Butler for $2 says he did good. That's right, Patrick Butler. The Flurf in this debate did perfectly. There was zero mistakes by him. Witsit making up excuses on the fly. Oh, I know right where to find that. Hang on just a sec. Every single video. Let's see. All right. Arthur's Life for $5 says, can't wait for the Professor Dave and Witsit debate. Yeah, I was talking with Craig yesterday about that. We want to make it happen. So I don't know the status. I didn't check today. I was busy, very busy. Let's see. The article that I found on Berserk is titled "A Berserk Expedition Gone Wrong." This is Charlie Welch. Summergate vacation at Lake Titicaca. Yes. Mute Donkey says that judge couldn't get that just because they believe in a conspiracy, it isn't your job to prove it. Yeah, it's nonsense. And she got up. She tried to. I love that. She started asking me, and then asked to Corey instead, and he did not know about it. And then she said that she didn't like that I didn't know about it. Oh, Patrick Butler says, shame he didn't mention water mountains. Oh my gosh, Patrick. So the flat earthers with their water mountains. You can tell they're a Poe if they talk about water mountains. Patrick Butler, you're talking water mountains. You know what that means. All right, let's finish this here, see what he said. I don't know if there's much more interesting. Yeah, it's cold. Oh, you have no sound.
Atomic
sorry.
war.
Stay there forever.
Nothing.
Admiral, you
Didn't
speak
matter.
of the resources of Antarctica. What are they? What are the natural resources there?
Well, we've found enough of coal within 180 miles of the South Pole in a great ridge of mountains. It's not covered with snow. Enough to supply the whole world for quite a while.
Well,
That's the coal. Now, there's evidence of many other minerals. We are pretty sure there's oil. Now, that coal shows the bottom of the world. Now, by far the coldest spot in the world. Where that coal is gets 100 below zero in the winter.
well,
It was once tropical. So we think there's oil there, and there's evidence,
It was once tropical?
probably uranium there.
is it any secret? Is there uranium there? That would be the only thing that would be practical to actually go after, I suppose. Everything else would be economically unfeasible, wouldn't it?
Well, as we recklessly expend our resources, the time will come when we'll have to go after that stuff down there.
Well,
You know, I avoided what you said about uranium. Now, you can understand those people down there being interested because they live down there. The New Zealanders, the
temperate makes
Argentinians,
much
the
more
Chileans,
sense.
and Australians. And so we don't do much about claiming anything.
Last is expedition
This latest expedition.
So, some places 14,000,
up to the standards, the
you know.
The opinions
And you'll
Valuable.
notice he didn't say dome. Yeah, Antarctica was close to the equator, millions or billions of years ago. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah. So, okay. Now, is this the one? There's some interviews where he's got a globe sitting next to him. This doesn't appear to be the one. So, all right. He said New Zealand. We must invade before the Australians do. So, all right. Well, what's unusual about that? I don't find anything unusual. Yes, coal, sure. Oil, yes, makes sense. But yeah, to say let's not mine it for coal, and that, I guess, at some point, hopefully we can, not use coal, and by the time we kind of stop using it is before when we run out of places to find it. That'd be great. Because yes, if that happens, then they may decide to go down to Antarctica. So, but I love that they can't figure out the military. I love Whitsitt when he talks about Antarctica. He gets it all wrong. When I debated him last time in Modern Day Debate, he's like, the treaty. He said the treaty doesn't let you go there. Like, oh, specifically which article? And he said article, I don't remember, I think 5. And Article 5 just said, the one that he's referenced just says, the treaty covers everything south of latitude 60. That's it. Like, that's not, that there's no part of the treaty that says that you can't go there. It says the opposite. It says the military's not allowed to go there to do military type stuff, only peacekeeping type stuff. And everybody can go there. You just can't keep it a secret. You need to tell everybody else about it. It's the exact opposite of what they think it is. It's just sort of, all right. So here we go. We've got from yesterday. We've got yesterday from FDFE Whitsitt Gets It. Professor Dave accepts your debate challenge. And then FDFE hosts offers to host and moderate. And then apparently Mitchell, we get an update today, says, as expected, Whitsitt is far too scared to actually debate Professor Dave, even when Professor Dave agrees to it. He acts all big until he realizes he has to come to my channel for a debate, FDFE's channel. Everyone point and laugh at the scaredy cat. Hey, Whitsitt, why are you so scared to debate Professor Dave? I mean, he did kind of rough up one of your Papa Flurfs there, Dearth. mean, your main Papa Flurf will always be Nathan, right? He is your first Papa Flurf. But you've got others. We know that. I mean, Dearth and Super Noodle Doodle are you know, your second. They're tied for second Papa Flurfs for you. PJ CNET, I should go on an exploration to Antarctica with David Weiss. I don't want to hang out with David Weiss for that long. Please no. But I was willing for that flight that was maybe going to happen across the South Pole. I was willing to do that with probably mostly Flurfs on it. Like, we have a Flurf section and a non-Flurf section. But yeah, I was willing to do that. Exploring Antarctica just isn't that appealing. It's freaking cold. Why is it such a big deal? It's cold. But here's what I am working on and I want to do. I want to challenge and actually write it up to take a flight from probably Sydney to Johannesburg. You know, QF63, the one that flat earthers say always stops off in the Middle East. That one. Except it's a direct flight. So the direct flight between Sydney and Johannesburg, to fly that and to challenge, and both of us put $10,000 in escrow, and if it doesn't cross the equator, and if it doesn't go faster than 1,000 miles an hour ground speed, and if we don't get killed and replaced with identical clones of ourselves, then I get the $10,000. And if it magically stops off, or it goes some incredible ground speed, you know, bring whatever you want to measure the ground speed. Bring your GPS with a logger on it. And if it crosses the equator, then the Flurf wins the whole amount. What do you think about that? What? I would do it. Would you do it, Flurfies? Would you? McFlatty could replace me if something went wrong. Look, seriously, McFlatty. Oh, there you go. QFA 64 is in the air right now, about 2 hours from landing in Sydney. That's amazing. Yeah, it's about 2,000 Australian dollars. So that's the problem. So there would need to be that. So I would need to get down there, and I would need to get back from Johannesburg. So there's some significant cost to that. So I'd probably just put that all up myself and figure out how to make that happen, because there's the upside. I would win the $10,000. That's why I'd put it up. Right? So if it costs me $6,000 to do the whole thing, and I get a flat earther to have to admit that the flight exists, and then I get their $10,000, I'll do that. Absolutely. They don't have 10K. Well, they can do GoFundMes. They're very skilled at doing GoFundMes. Anyway, that's an idea I had, and no doubt none would ever take it. But having it sit there unclaimed, you just point to that and say, "Hey, Flurfs, stop saying that flight doesn't exist. Let's go do it." So 2,000 Australian is like the whole GDP of Oakley's echo chamber. Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, if they were right, they could, Oakley, he wouldn't have to do he could probably do the next 6 years on just the $10,000 challenge. But he can't do it because no Flurf can do celestial navigation. All right, what was I? Yeah, Witsit backs out. I was gonna do something. I forgot. Mallory is loaded. Mallory, are you here? I'm looking to see if she's here. Seriously. Oh, you've always wondered what those papers are on the back wall. Right here, these? This is the very first video, the series of 3 videos that I did on this channel. The first one was a flight chart with 3 90-degree turns that brought you back to where you started. The second was another one. They didn't quite, they were actually at real airports and real flights that really existed, and they added up to just under 270 degrees, 263 degrees, a series of flights that would not work on flat Earth. But Flat Out Hero, who challenged people for $100,000, he was going to pay $100,000 if people could do that, do a flight chart that had basically, you start, you go a leg, take a 90, and come back where you started. So an equilateral 90-degree triangle on the surface of the Earth. He said do it on flight charts. So I did it on electronic flight charts. He said he meant paper charts. So he moved the goalposts of the challenge. So I said, okay. So anyway, the second one was on paper and I used real airports. He said, no, that's not 270 degrees. He doesn't understand that it's still impossible for flat Earth. So I did this. This is real paper flight charts, operational navigational charts. And so you're seeing 2 of the legs, right? Here's one, and there's the other one. Oh my gosh, I can't even write. There's the other. And the third one's in the closet hanging up over here. And I won. I completely matched every single part of his challenge. And he's still like, nuh-uh. So Timbo Turtle, yeah, of course. You could do a sightseeing flight to Antarctica while you're down here in Australia. If you did, then for YouTube channel, you could claim it as a business expense. Of course, all this would be a business expense. Everything about it is a business expense. Meals, lodging, all of it is. So, those papers back there are actual solid evidence. I remember when MC Toon said his wife didn't like the fact they were going to stay there. Looks like he won that. Yeah. This is her work. She does great. She made these curtains. She said, hey, you should move this bookshelf in. So I did, because I had just a thing before. Anyway. I was going to do something and I totally forgot. Totally forgot what I was going to do. So, let me check here. Oh yeah, I got this. Is this it? The picture. I already did the picture of, of Antarctica. So yeah, to Corey, he wanted like a picture of this from satellite, which I could have gotten, but, but there's only so many things I can do, right? There are other things. I said I would bring measurements of the curve, which I did. He said he was going to bring measurements of flatness, which he did not. Timbo Turtle says, is Mrs. Toon and MC Jr. allowed in the room? Well, yes. This used to be, the schoolroom before March of 2020. In March of 2020, it became my office, and it's still my office. So it's been a few years. So yeah, up here, the whole wall is books. It's bookshelf I built. That entire wall is bookshelf. Maybe I'll take a picture at some point, and you can look at it. So yeah, of course I'm small while I'm pointing around. All right, so yeah, this is Antarctica. It's been thoroughly explored enough to, well, not thorough. I mean, there's plenty more to do. So yeah, Obi-Wan, I couldn't do 28 times 25 off the top of your head, so you know Earth flat. Yeah, what a ridiculous red herring. To just shoot some double-digit multiplication at me, and if I can't do it off the top of my head, draw some conclusion? I don't do double-digit multiplication off the top of my head. When I need to do double-digit multiplication, let me show you what I do. But I'll do it on paper. But I use this. Right? Use that. What was this? 25 times 28? Yeah. It's hard to read. 700. This camera doesn't focus. It's not autofocus. So, all right. He missed the irony in my answer. He had no clue what 42 meant. Poor guy. Poor guy. Oh, I got Xion calling me. Hold on a second. All right. Xion.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, I think there's a loop.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Can you hear
myself.
me? I can hear you.
Are you on headphones?
No, I have my speaker on. I'll turn it off.
Okay.
Are you live still?
I am live.
Okay. I'm turning my speaker off right now, so we won't have no echo. Can you hear me now?
Yes. And I don't hear my echo.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I think
Hello?
he doesn't hear me.
Yes. Okay.
So something
Yeah,
about your
I just took the mic. I usually have my speaker on.
Yeah?
Say again.
Yeah, I
I
hear
usually
you.
have my speaker on. So that's probably why where the echo was coming from.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me too?
They can.
Okay, great. How you guys doing?
Well, we're good. It's just me and you.
I know.
And
Yeah. Huh?
what do we got here? 290.
Great. So you made a comment about somebody made a comment in the comment section about how we introduce ourselves. Listen, where we debate in our community is kind of like it's a split between Lincoln Douglas debates and WWE. Okay. Okay. Yeah, y'all can't get mad because I know 90% of your audience loves some wrestling. Okay, and I'm like Macho Man Randy Savage. I am the smushinator.
If you don't like wrestling, then I don't want to hear about it. That's where it's at, man.
But see, it was so funny that people were talking bad about how we introduce ourselves, but if I was walking into the WWE, you know what I'm saying, and holding up my Intercontinental belt, you know what I'm saying, they would have been rooting for me.
Yeah.
So this is kind of how we do it. You know what I'm saying? We put a little extra seasoning on our chicken before we cook it.
I love it.
It's a cultural thing, y'all. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Don't be so hard on everybody because you know
love
what I'm saying?
it. I think it was a new experience for me and it was really fun.
And you were great. Yo, listen, yes. You were awesome. And I appreciate your scholarship because the real problem is that a lot of people do lack in the education. And on one side, I will say that people do not seek education as they should. On the other side, you know what I'm saying, there is a historic relevance to this. My last name is Waring. And my great grand uncle was the Judge Julius Watties Waring. If anybody got a computer, look him up. Okay, I have European history as well. Judge Julius Watties Waring was a federal judge in South Carolina, and he was extremely important to Brown versus the Board of Education. One of the reasons why I am seeking a law degree is because it's a part of my heritage. I have 25% European in my blood. I have 44% African, West African, and I have Jewish blood. I'm a black Jew. Ironically, going to law school. So don't be so harsh on us. I saw a lot of comments in the background. If I was to show you a video of and my uncle was Mayor James Usry of Atlantic City. I have photos of my uncle with Donald Trump. When Donald Trump put the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, it was my uncle who was the most influential person to make that happen. There's photos of my uncle. Look up Mayor James Usry, USRY. That is my uncle. That's my grandfather's brother.
Okay.
So sometimes people look at color and they don't know who they're talking to. And that really disappoints me, you know, because some people got good educations, some people receive bad educations. It wasn't always their fault, but here I am trying to go to law school and pursue a law degree. I'm a father's rights advocate. I'm a full-time dad with primary custody. I won custody of my son, defending myself in court because I studied myself. I went and started studying, and that is what made me go to paralegal school and then further study the law. And then now I'm in Syracuse University in pre-law. And in the next, I'd say 3 years, I'll be going to law school. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate y'all. I actually watched the video a couple of times and he was like, yo, he could talk. He'd actually make a good lawyer. You damn right.
Yeah.
I'm trying, you know. So I have my little ums and stuff like that, and I have my little stutters and stuff like that. But if you ever watch some of the best attorneys, you'll see that sometimes they have to catch their thoughts, you know.
Yep.
So,
let's see. LB Things Stuff and More is asking if you're in the chat. In the live chat.
I am in the chat as well. Yes, I am in the chat. I will say hello. My name, my government name is Brian, but my religious name is Zion. So I'm gonna post in the chat, hey, and y'all will see me. Okay? You'll see me in the chat. I just posted hey. And that's me.
Right. Yeah, we got it.
You know? One of the things too is I was really cautious because what I didn't want to do, you know, with the conscious community. Yeah. Yep, I'm up. What's up? What's up, Pat? Yeah. So what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to be ostracized because I was making a vote. And then, you know, a lot of times people say, oh, well, you siding with the white man and this, that. I hate the white man fallacy argument. That's what I call it. It's all you citing, so you went to a white man college, man. Come on, stop that. I got an education. You mad because you didn't? It's retarded. You know,
it's not good to put down education.
That's what I'm saying.
You wouldn't be using a computer if there weren't educated people that designed it.
Exactly. And really to be honest with you, if they wanted to go back in the history, a lot of times, you know, a lot of cats in these communities will say, well, you know, Egypt was the first universities. I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So a lot of cats will say that, you know, well, the Egyptians. Oh, I can't help you fight City Hall, Robert. I can help you in the custody dispute with legal information, but City Hall, that's a little bit bigger than my that. Yeah.
Hey, somebody's asking. The rabbit is asking if you're a Moor.
No. I'm a Jew. I'm a black Jew. I'm Jewish.
Okay.
And I'm a Rastafari. So I practice Judaism. And I'm a Rasta. I don't smoke herb, so every Rasta doesn't smoke weed. Please do not think that every Rastafarian smokes weed. Not every Rastafarian smokes weed. Back in 1920s, there was a huge black Jewish community that grew in Harlem, and I'm from Long Island, New York. I got a great education while when I've gone to like the South. I lived in the South for a while. People in certain demographic areas, I could notice that they did not receive the same kind of education that I did. There was a lot of Italians, a lot of Jewish people in my community. I grew up in Long Island, Huntington. I went to Walt Whitman High School, which was very well funded. And so I received an education that was probably a lot better than most people received. And so, don't do Bob Marley. Don't call me Bob Marley. I don't even listen to Bob Marley. Bob Marley is like the nursery rhymes of Rasta music. If you want to listen to real Rasta music, listen to Midnight, Von Benjamin, and Burning Spear. Yeah, come on, y'all. Not that I don't like Bob Marley, but he's the ABCs. That's like, that's baby food. So anyway.
So yes, well, good, and yes, just for the record, I also don't listen to Bob Marley.
But listen, yo, I used to play in a heavy metal band.
Oh, now
and
you're
know
talking.
What we played? We played cover tunes for Metallica.
Yep.
I played cover tunes for Metallica and for King Diamond. I was a bass player.
Oh. For
a heavy metal. See, in Long Island, we didn't have a lot of the racial problems that go down south. Listen, I love Bob. Ziggy, I met Ziggy, and he is the most cockiest asshole in the world. So when I grew up in one of the most I would say melting pots. There was metalheads. There were, you know what I'm saying? There were like, thugs. There were the jocks. There were, you know what I'm saying, cats like me who were more cultural. And we all kind of got along. And that was the funny thing. There was no, there was like in certain areas, there was some racial tension. But in Huntington, Long Island, it didn't exist. Okay, we all went up to the hill. We all cut class together. We all, went to Burger King together. We were all good. So when I face racism, it really hurts me because I'm not used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not used to it. My best friend was Tommy Onion Benny, and my brother, his best friend was his older brother, and we would hang out, play video games, work out, lift weights, listen to Metallica, listen to reggae, we'd listen to, and we all hung out together. So I don't have that issue. If y'all have that problem, that's on y'all.
No, we don't.
And
it's all good here.
I refuse to succumb to that.
Somebody says, Douglas Jenkins said, I listened to German Christian ska.
Yo, ska's dope.
I love ska.
Ska's fire. I played in multiple bands, right? So the first band I played in was my brother's band, and it was a cover band. And they did Metallica, they did Iron Maiden, they did Megadeth, and they did King Diamond. And the first song I ever learned how to play on the bass was Time for Tea from King Diamond.
I've never listened to King Diamond, but I've listened to the others.
Yeah, I love metal. I love metal. There's nothing wrong with metal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, death metal, too. Like, we listen to death metal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that.
That's a whole different.
A little.
That's a whole different paradigm.
You can't listen to
it's
too
not
much.
The poser bands. We're talking about the real heavy stuff.
Yeah. All right. So what about? So Takori was in here a little bit, just shortly after, but I didn't want to just. I mean, part of me wanted to just mock him when he's like. Things don't fall at 9.8 meters per second squared. Like, dude, that's no flat earth denies that.
He actually lost this recent discussion I had with Takori, and not to cut you off, but he said that water drops, and he used a glass of water thing. And then I said, well, what about the clouds? What about condensation? Then he turns around and says, oh, it's because of density. And I'm like, oh, wait, you just talked about density, and water rises when you know what I'm saying? Condensation, when there's no density, it rises. But then you're sitting here using a glass of water to try to prove that water, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I can't argue with him. And I'm not a flat earther. Trust me. The only reason I wanted him to do better was because, and here's the interesting thing. 2 of the judges that were on the pool were the 2 judges that were in my debate, Abdul and Carla.
Yeah. Carla started to ask me, this was about the Summergate, and then I'm like, it's not a flat earth thing.
Oh, conspiracy theory.
Sent it to
Did you ever hear the donut earth theory? She might as well go to the donut earth theory, where the dude said that he flew a plane and then went into the hole in the earth.
Came out the other side?
Yeah. No. He went into the earth, and it was like remember that TV show The Land of the Lost?
Yeah.
It was the Land of the Lost down there. There was dinosaurs.
Oh, the
There's
inside.
a whole book about
like Hollow Earth.
Right, the hollow earth. I call it the donut earth.
Okay.
The donut earth theory.
Yeah, well, yeah, donuts just sound much more tasty than hollow.
It's a lot more delicious.
Yes. Yeah, and he didn't. Corey didn't understand how far away does the sun set? 8 miles. Like, I'm never 8 miles from the sun. I'm always farther. He couldn't comprehend that. What do you think was his reason for not understanding that?
Honestly, I felt like it was Dunning-Kruger or Dunning-Kruger. Some people say Dunning-Kruger effect. He really, I don't think he really has an understanding. He was getting, you was working his ribs in the corner. It was like, and I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to say this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hurt the brother, but you had him on the ropes, and you was working them ribs. And he didn't know what to say. All he was, well, what about this? What about that? Well, hold on, B. You're supposed to be answering questions, not asking them.
That was a fun part of the format. I didn't even know it was coming.
Oh, that's a fun part, but you did good. That cross-examination was epic. It was almost as epic as the OJ trial. What's my man's name with the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I'm like, hold on a second. I got to do what now? And then Corey's like, you start. I'm like, oh crap, I'm in. I gotta go. I think I wrote down 2 questions. And then I'm like, all right, well, let's just go.
Right. They were so mad. See, they were so mad that I voted for you. Abdul was like, and then Carla tried to cut me off. I'm like, yo, fall back. Calm down. I was the only one who gave point by, and I took notes too. I was taking notes the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? I got my little yellow pad, like, cause you know, I'm trying to be a lawyer, so I'm real specific. I have to get the legal pad and the whole nine. I'm like really obsessive about this thing. You know, I watch court TV all day while I'm typing and stuff and doing my little paralegal stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I work for E&L Project. You guys can find me on Second Class Dad. Look up Second Class Dad. Paralegal activist Xion. That was a really that tells you my whole entire story when I fought for my son. So Second Class Dad. Yep. Yeah, I was taking notes because I knew that I was probably going to be the only one in the jury pool who was taking notes. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be fair. And because what I did, because I lost to Takari, and I feel that it was unfair, but I accepted it. I told Takari, I said, you know what? I'm not even going to bang on you. I accept the L. I'm not going to sit here and argue about it. I'll take the loss. You know what I'm saying? I won nine debates and 4 losses You know what I'm saying? And then there's two that never that are like
Guys,
easy.
like
But two of the judges were Carla and Abdul. And you saw how biased they were. Like they immediately were like, "Well, I'm going with Takari." Like, did you really pay attention to the debate? Or are you having a Dunning-Kruger effect moment?
That people did not like Carla, but there's a couple that liked her voice a lot.
Carla used to be on the show before I ever came on the Lions Den, so she has a history with the Lions Den.
No,
okay.
Who? How long has it been around, and who's like in charge of it?
Say it again.
Who owns it? Who owns it?
It's JJ7000, and he's a good brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's a good brother, and he tries to make the platform very fair.
And how long has it been around?
I came in about 2 years ago. It was already established. There's another platform called Sonetta that's really, really big, and they've got thousands and thousands of members. JJ's really cool. He actually brings in a lot of different perspectives, and a lot of people hate JJ because he doesn't just bring in Israelites. It's not just the Israelite-based group, you know what I'm saying, Black Israelites or Black Jews or Black Christians, but he brings in the Comedics. He brings in the atheists. We've had Satanists on it. I was an atheist when I came in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm more of a secular Israelite roster, but you know what I'm saying? But at the same time also uphold nationality. And we know that nationality, if you're having a history, it has lore. It has folklore. It has history that's not necessarily always factual. I can't defend you yet, Robert. You know what I'm saying? When I get my law degree and I pass the bar, you know, so I'll be happy to, for a nominal fee, obviously.
He's trying
he's
trying to get you before you've even. You got a couple years
there are
still
Rasta
to go.
Masons. Yes, there are Rasta Masons. In fact,
what's a Rasta Mason?
On my southern family side in South Carolina, they have their own Masonic temple. They're Prince Hall Masons. My martial arts, and so I've been in martial arts for over 30 years. And my martial arts instructor, Rick Kellerman, in Long Island, 10 Tigers. Rick Kellerman's 10 Tigers. He's Jewish, and he's a Scots Rite Mason. I never joined Masonry, but I consider myself a Rasta Jew, and I have Native American blood. My grandmother's family came from the Shinnecock Indian tribe of Long Island, so they have a reservation in Long Island. So I have a mixture of blood. I have European, I have African, I have Native American, and I have some Native American and Asian blood. You know what I'm saying? I used to call myself, because I'm in Hungar, Nate, Hungar, Juklum, and I did some jujitsu. I'm not as proficient in jujitsu, but I studied Chinese Kung Fu for years. So
nice.
I'm Hungar. Hungar is Southern Chinese martial arts, and I did that for over 30 years. I have a 3rd degree black belt.
Nice.
No. It's not that I'm obsessed with race. I am subject to race. Okay, it's not that I'm obsessed with it. I'm subject to it. Okay, because of the demographic realities. I get forced into this. I personally don't like. Sometimes I have friends or people that I meet on the street, and the first thing that they want to talk about is, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" And I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "Did you see that thing about Bishop Tutu?" I'm like, "What the fuck do I care about Bishop Tutu? I'm not a Catholic. Oh, because he's black, you got to bring up Bishop Tutu? Stop! Every time somebody sees a black guy, they got to talk about black shit. Leave me. Come on." Every time I see somebody on the street, I don't freaking goddamn have to have a conversation about their race. But this happens to me all the time. So it's not that I'm obsessed. It's that it's my reality, unfortunately, that maybe you might not be subject to. Right? Yeah. So I apologize if y'all feel that way, because I would prefer that it not be that way. But unfortunately, you know, you should see my son. I don't know if y'all can I turn my camera on here?
Give me a second. I gotta set up the thing.
My son is mixed. I have a mixed son. He's me, and he's part German, and he's the most handsome little thing in the world. So please don't put that on me.
All right, I'm working on getting it here.
Oh no. Yo, Earthwise, if you look up Jewish rosters, there are rosters in Israel right now. There are Jewish rosters in Israel right now playing reggae music with dreadlocks and the whole nine and yarmulkes. So cut that out.
Dreadlocks
You
and
don't know.
yarmulkes.
Dreadlock Jews. That's right.
There's a metal band for you.
Because Haile Selassie was one of the most important factors in what established Israel as it is today. Israel came up and was reestablished in the land in 1946, and that came about because of Haile Selassie's actions. In the League of Nations fell and caused the United Nations to come back. Haile Selassie is the main figure of the Rastafari faith, and he actually went to Israel when Israel was reestablished, and he spoke to Israel. He is the main reason, and a lot of Jewish people in Israel, Ashkenaz and Ashkenazi Jews, you know what I'm saying, and they support Haile Selassie. So rosters are big in Israel.
All right. If there's people in the chat talking that stuff, I don't do that. I don't care. So people stop. Don't
sometimes it
get
just
off track.
hurts me to a degree because I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asked me the other day, he said, well, do you think that the white man is the devil? I said, no. I don't look at skin color to judge somebody's behavior. I look at their actions, the content of their character.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. B? I'm from New York, so don't mind my accent. I actually sound like a lot of the Italian brothers. I have a lot of Italian friends. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me.
Nice. All right, if you want to
fucking talking to me, are you talking to me? I have that New York Italian slang.
If you want, you can share your screen. People will see you if you.
All right, so I just wanted to show my pics. Hold on, let me put a shirt on because I'm over here.
Yeah, we don't want to get people too excited.
Recently, I had to defend myself, so I had, some dude stabbed me in the chest. I beat the dookie out of him, but he stabbed me in my chest, and so I have to take my shirt off sometimes because I have to let this wound air out. But I almost lost my life just a few days ago for some freaking goddamn druggy imbecile, So pardon me. But most of the time, it's just me and my son. I'm gonna show you my son, picture of my son. I can share my screen now?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
I'll start mine so you can see me. Let's see.
Okay.
There you go. And then I think on the bottom of, I don't know, are you on a phone or a computer?
I'm on a computer. I'm on a laptop.
Yeah, so let's see. On the bottom of the little window there's 4 icons, I think. You got a microphone and a camera on the left.
4 icons? At the bottom, like the settings?
I don't know. I'm just saying what's on my screen.
Mini player, theater mode. Not really seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know. You might not be in the app. I'm using the actual app.
Oh, I'm not on the app.
So, yeah, I don't know how in the...
Okay, don't worry about it. So anyway, I have a very handsome son. He's of mixed, heritage. He's got German. And recently, me and my brother had gotten into a debate. I'll send you guys the link to my brother and my debate. And my brother's debate, he denied that we had Jewish ancestry in the whole nine. And so at the end of the debate, he said, well, I'm going to go to ancestry.com. We're going to do the DNA. And we're going to figure out who won this debate by the DNA. And so we got all of our DNA evidence, and we're mixed. Don't call it a mutt. understand that one thing
Did
about
somebody say
science,
it?
if you guys
Wait,
like
did
science and you
somebody
believe
say
in
that?
science, understand that genetic diversity is one of the most important things to actual evolution. Ooh, see, people don't want to deal with that. People did not evolve by continually to inbreed.
So let's see. We got
You're not a
Mr.
mutt. Stop it, King Crew.
If we could see
You're
Mr.
diverse. You're genetically diverse. Say it right.
Mr. QTube first name Fa had a little correction about whether you use an or a in front of education, but then also said race is a man-made construct. We're all human.
Right.
There's a lot to
Right.
that, yeah.
Absolutely. It's definitely a construct.
And
even the
Obi-Wan,
term black and white.
yeah,
Black and white didn't start until the 1700s.
So here, Obi-Wan says, so did you actually lose the debate, talking to me, or just lose to the bias? You seem really smart. And to Corey, nah, dude, he dumb.
Oh, he won the big debate. I thought you were talking about the debate between me and my brother.
No, about tonight.
I feel like you won.
I put together a brand new presentation just for tonight. That's the first one that I did with deriving all that.
It was
that
really
math.
good.
That was all new.
It was good. It was really good.
He asked for math. He wanted me to derive it.
What is easy to say? Yeah. You're better hiding in snow, but I'm better hiding in the dark. I'm a ninja.
Oh, he was talking. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was asking about your debate with Corey. So did you lose your debate with Corey to bias? Because there were
because the two people who voted against Toon tonight, they were judges. So it was only supposed to be 3 judges, and I declined. I declined to be a judge because I didn't want. That's right. Stringer News. I declined. I said I don't want to be a judge because I don't want anybody to perceive me to be biased. So this is why it took me so long. I know you said I can talk. It took me that long to explain why I came to my conclusions, because I lost against Takari. Takari will not debate me again on the subject, but there was 2 judges that were the 2 judges in your pool. Now, originally there were 3. It was me, Abdul, and one other. And then they added Carla, who was the other biased judge in my debate. So now I guess they knew that I was probably going to rule in your favor, but I made sure that I wrote down all of the reasons. The reasons are not because I'm a flat earther. Not a flat earther. I'm not a flat earther. The reasons are not because I'm a global earther. The reasons are because of the persuasive argument. So I had to think legally, right? So I went by what they call precedent, by the preponderance of evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I had to do. I had to make sure that they weren't going to talk around. You just voted for him because you're a global earth. No, I voted for him because not just because he's a global earth, but because he was able to provide empirical evidence and the preponderance of evidence and a much more persuasive argument. That's it. You know, I had to do that. I had to talk long. Because I had to wash my ass in front of them, you know what I'm saying? Just in case they try to come back. And you saw Abdul already in the chat talking about, this is personal.
He was going after
no, it's not personal. My God.
Well, it was it was fun. I really did enjoy that, and I'm like, the Lion's Den's a great name. This is definitely outside of where I go, but you guys, your debates are a lot more serious. than when I
We're
debate flat
colorful,
earthers.
you know. There's a lot of antics. There's a lot of jokes. There's a
Yeah.
lot of arguments, you know, and it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
But we do try to stick to the scholarship, you know.
What was you said? There's another one that JJ came from. Some other debate thing.
Say it again.
You said-
there was another debate league that out there.
Yeah.
That's Sarnetter, and I was recently on Sarnetter, and they tried to do the Duncan booth to me. I said, listen, I didn't come here for a Duncan booth. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna get clowned. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna be clear and concise about what I have to say, and I'm going to leave. You know, and I'm not about people trying to take my integrity just because they have a larger audience. So they tried to Duncan booth me, and I smushed. One of the things I use, my terminology is I smush, right? So the smush is the smushing of heads. This basically means that I intellectually destroy somebody by smushing their head. So one of the things I always use is the image of a Cabbage Patch kid with their head smushed in. So I'm called the Smushinator, you know, instead of the Terminator, I'm the Smushinator. I'm also called the Smusher Man, you know what I'm saying? So I come in with this colorful, whenever I introduce myself, you know what I'm saying, it's WWE style, y'all. Don't think that it's just being silly. Yes, I smush, right? So I say, I'm the most hated, the most underrated, the most underdebated, the most underestimated. I'm the smusher of heads. I'm your smusher man. I'm your smusher man, baby. And that's how I come in, because I'm about to smush somebody headed. So it's colorful, you know. Some people are a little less colorful than others. They'd be like, hey, you know, I'm Abdul, and hey, you can find me here, you find me there. Okay, cool. But I try to be colorful. I try to be exciting, and then I get into the academics, because I actually do debate in college as well. You know what I'm saying? I debate Lincoln Douglas style. I've done multiple debates in my last term, and multiple debates, and I went to Bryant and Stratton, and I'm now in Syracuse University. So we got to be funny, you know?
Yeah, it's entertaining. We need to,
you know, and that's what I think, you know, a lot of the community needs in order to bring up the academic level of thinking, the scholarship, is a lot of people are that they're so caught up into the music and into the entertainment that they lose focus of the intellectual side. They don't think that intellectualism is exciting. They don't think that. So this is why, you know, we add in, and I like to add in some excitement into it. You know what I mean? Because it makes people who are looking for that kind of excitement and drama and BS, you know what I'm saying, it'll start attracting people, because they want to see the rap battles. They want to see people twerk. They want to see people dance. They want people to see rapping and all of this stuff. But they don't want to actually get into academia and scholarship. So how do we fix that? How do we fix it when there's so many people who are caught up into the empty drama? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, with wrestling. It's not real wrestling, but people are caught up into, you know, and they call it professional wrestling. And Ninja, please. You know what I'm saying? I used to wrestle in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I used to wrestle, you know what I'm saying? I did track and field. I did martial arts for years, ever since I was 15. 1991 was when I actually started in my Sifu's martial arts school, and I am still a part of my Sifu's martial arts school and a representative of Rick Kellerman's 10 Tigers Kung Fu Academy. If you live in Long Island,
hey,
go check him out. He's the most awesome dude in the world.
Would you debate on here if I hosted?
Huh?
Would you debate here if I hosted against a flat earther?
Absolutely. You want me to debate a flat earther?
Oh man, this would be
against.
There's a guy, Dion Smo. He's created his own martial art, and he's declared himself to be Sifu Smo.
Oh, I'll destroy him.
His list of students includes nobody.
Make your own martial art.
He has nobody that's and he's you cannot take him seriously. That's the problem. He's so he I swear he lives in the bathroom. Like he's done videos in the bathroom.
So if he's got a mental health disorder, I do not want to beat up on him. You know what I'm saying?
People were talking about. I don't think that would be the right guy for you. Sifu Smo, Dion Smo. He's not a Sifu. All right. Can you? Somebody was was talking about counting to 10 in Korean. Can you count to 10 in Korean? That's not your martial art.
I can count. I can count in Chinese because I studied Chinese martial arts, Southern Chinese. So it's yat yi sam say lok jut bat gao sup yi sup yum sup gao sup say sup sup. So I can go on and on and on. You know what I mean? When I do push-ups and I exercise, I count in Chinese.
Oh yeah, I can count. All right, so I'm gonna give it for I forgot who it was, but I can count it in Korean.
I'm not Korean, so I don't. Yeah, I didn't do Taekwondo
or
Tang Sudo.
Hana dual setnet daso yaso ilgup yodel ahop yol. There you go.
Say the first 5 again.
Hana dual set net daso.
Okay. See, and it's yat yi sam say
Yeah, there's the that's the Hangul, and then there's the kind of the Chinese version, which
right.
is
I know how to curse people out in Chinese too. If you ever want to call somebody, if you ever want to use a Chinese word for and I'm not hating against the LGBTQ community. I'm not LGBTQ, but there's this word called Sifat Guai. Sifat Guai,
No.
If you say Sifat Guai, right? Say it with me, y'all.
No way.
Sifat Guai, no. It means butt demon.
I had some spicy chicken wings the other night and had some butt demons the next day.
Sifat Guai.
Let's see. Mute Donkey says it's been so long since I counted in Korean. I had to do a little bit of digging just to not mess up on that. I've got my on the wall up there. I've got my second Dan certificate.
No, don't demonetize. Don't be demonetized. I try to keep it clean.
It says every morning I fight a butt demon. Microraptor wants you to be nice. It says be nice to my butt demon.
Yeah, we got things that we had to say in Chinese too. You know, like that was about honor and about our integrity, and which is one of the biggest things. You know what I'm saying? Come on, global mom. It was Hok Yong, Hok Yi, Hok Gong Fu, Junjo, Junsi, Jungao Do. Learn humility, learn loyalty, learn hard work, respect self, respect ancestors, respect teachings being taught. So we learned that. We had to recite that even before we started our classes. So we do deal with y'all are still stuck on the Sifat Guai, huh? You're only going to be demonetized in China. How about that?
Okay. That's okay.
I don't even think your stuff is going to make it to China because they all have, they block a lot of our stuff anyway. So you're not going to get the Chinese money.
Oh, we got Blackburn Big Dragon says my father ran a Tang Sudo school in Meriden, Connecticut.
Tang Sudo. My Sifu first went to Tang Sudo before he got into Chinese Gung Fu. And he's been in Chinese Gung Fu for many years. And he's still a student, even though he has, he's been considered a third-degree black belt. The highest you can go in Chinese Gung Fu is 5th degree, and that's considered lifetime achievement. But he went into Juklum, which is Southern praying mantis. It's not like the ones in the movies that actually mimic a praying mantis. This is really in close fighting. And we also did what's called Swai Jiao. Swai Jiao is the Chinese equivalent to Japanese judo. And then, we had some other cats that came in and taught certain techniques from Muay Thai and from there's another system from jujitsu, some Gracie jujitsu. So I can pretty much like defend myself against a jujitsu fighter. However, I'm not totally proficient against a jujitsu fighter, but because I had some wrestling history and some techniques in jujitsu, I can fare pretty well on my back if I have to. No, don't say, I know your audience is going to take that in a whole nother way.
we got.
Come on, man. Tone it down, man. You about to demonetize us?
It's a lot of fun. People are like, who is this? What's going on here? It's typically on a Tuesday night. It's a flurf in here. They're like, who's this flurf?
It's this flurf night.
He's
flurf
no
night.
Flurf.
Yeah, I'm not a flat earther. I think people who are flat earthers really don't have a basic understanding of physics. And you were great pointing that out. But I had to keep that aside. I had to focus only on persuasive argumentation. So one of the things about Takari is that, he has a very, and this doesn't mean because he has a Southern drawl that a person who has a Southern drawl can't be articulate. But a lot of times he'll make up words that don't exist. I don't know. It wasn't the thingamajiggy thing alone, in that where he made up a couple of words, and I was like, bro, you cannot do this with tune, bro. You're gonna look, uneducated, And so I tried to give him some tips, just so that at least, and he stepped up a little bit. Yeah. If you watched his debate with me, y'all would have laughed. But you know what? I think I went in there a little too overconfident too, because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna smush his head on this," and I really didn't prepare the best evidence. I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill on it." Like, dude, and I tried to use his own evidence against him. But again, I had two people on the panel who were flat earthers.
How many other people were on the panel?
And I had already cussed them out like weeks before on something else. And so they already had a bias against me. Abdul and Carla, we already had beef. It didn't have nothing to do with flat earth, and they were flat earthers, and they were the two voters that caused me to lose that debate. So
how many other people were on the panel?
Only one other.
Yeah, see.
Only one other. That person voted for me, but Abdul and Carla voted against me, so I lost. And I said it in the debate. I said, Carla and Abdul cannot be judges in my debate. They don't like me, and they're flat earthers. And nobody listened.
Well, a flat earther would say that you should have a flat earther in there.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. You should have two flat earthers and somebody who's neutral.
All right. So
Chinese MMA.
People,
go ahead, brother.
Who should he face?
Who, Takari?
No, you.
Who should I face? I don't know if anybody wants to get into the legal argumentation.
No, flirts.
If somebody wants to argue about, if I'm going to argue about religion, I don't want to argue if somebody's going to be on an objective standpoint about religion. I will only argue an objective against an objection. I'm not going to argue doctrine against an objective position.
Yeah, I don't do religious debates here.
Okay.
So
cool.
It's science generally.
Right.
So.
Right.
But earth-shape.
With psychology, in psychology, I learned a lot about psychology, and I learned a lot about the sacred and the profane. And they did like a philosophy, dealing with psychology, dealing with the fact that humans cannot be 100% objective. Because we don't have all the answers. So because we don't have all the answers, we often fill the gaps with things that we think are there. And this is where hypothesis and theories come into effect. People can base a theory on actual objective truths, but still don't have a full understanding of what's out there. So people will talk about string theory. They'll talk about, all of these issues of quantum physics without being able to measure it and actually test it, because, or the distance of what's out in space. If they're living things out in space, well, we can actually base our things on probability. However, we don't have an actual, empirical evidence of this. So people say, well, there's this many planets out in space, so there has to be aliens, there has to be living life. And I don't necessarily deny that. But are aliens flying around here, probing people's butts and stuff like that? Like aliens coming over here to anally probe us? I think that is absolutely retarded.
Do something else, yeah. Maybe they might pick a different method.
So we could get into something else. I'll certainly debate somebody on something, less religious and stuff, because I've done, when I first came into Lion's Den, I came in arguing from an atheist perspective. I think I'm getting a little bit of a lag here.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, my computer's a little choppy.
Who's Ra Thoth? Microraptor. Who's Ra Thoth? It sounds like some pseudoscience Egyptian dude.
Ra Thoth is Takari's friend, Javante.
Oh, I'll smush him. On what? What is he arguing?
Well, he kind of thinks that he is the reincarnation of the Egyptian gods Ra and Thoth.
Oh. He's got a messiah complex.
Oh, there's a lot of flat earthers that have that.
God complex. I am also called, one of my other titles is I'm the cult killer. I destroy people who claim to be God, claim to be Jesus, claim to be messiahs. That if y'all want me to do that, I will do that with a fervor. Okay?
Hey, you
will enjoy that. I will make it so exciting.
Of fervor. We love your fervor.
With the fervor. Yes, sir.
Let's see. My big argument about aliens is they can build a spacecraft advanced enough to interstellar travel, but they can't avoid crashing it into the Earth. And I still have an echo on your side. It's pretty bad.
No, I'm just the law lion. That's all. I'm not the law. King Crew. I'm the law lion.
King Crew, I met him when I was in Florida. Oh my gosh, you've got to fix your.
Maybe I should refresh. I'm gonna refresh and come right back in.
All right.
Am I still gonna be able to talk to you if I do that?
I think so. Or if not, just
right.
Call again.
Oh, how did I call you in the first place? I don't even remember.
It's too long ago. Oh yeah, we Jerry. Oneism. We Jeranism. Gotta stop his feedback. Yeah, Rothoth isn't as bad as Lord Stephen Christ. Lord Stephen Christ is just whack.
There are at least 10 so-called messiahs that I go after. There's this one guy named Yaju Judah. He is an imbecile, and he claims to be the Messiah. This dude doesn't have a freaking education past maybe 8th grade, all right? Then there's another guy who calls himself Kofi Nino. Kofi Nino is a nut basket. Him and his wife be doing all of these weird stuff like I don't know what they're smoking. Then there's another dude named Christ Michael. If you guys look up Christ Michael, you're going to die laughing. I'm talking about absolute imbeciles. Nut baskets. He writes a name across his forehead. He does weird dances and stuff.
Who's Sammy Boy? Inquisitor Rurik. Who's Sammy Boy? All right. The echo is still there. It's kind of rough.
Is it
Yeah.
my echo?
Yeah.
My
Well,
echo?
it's me. It's me coming back through your speaker.
Okay, let me see. I don't know how to change my sound. Hold on, let me see if I can fix something.
But I need to wrap it up here pretty soon anyway.
Okay, all right.
So, let's
Yeah,
see.
we'll figure it out next time. Maybe I can come on to the stream, and that'll fix everything
I'll
because
work on,
I
if
really
you have-
don't know
if
how
you have
this is working
earbuds,
right now.
Earbuds helps. Or headphones
Yeah,
of some sort.
my earbuds. I'll have to get another pair.
All right. Well, I'm gonna modify the thumbnail for this and put your picture on there. So if there's one that you like, otherwise I have the one that says Superfly.
Yeah, that's the one. The Smusher. The Smusher Man.
The Smusher Man. All right. I like that. All right. Well, Zion, thanks. It was great. Great to talk to you.
Oh, I see where it is. Oh, now I see it. I'm on the messenger call. So I could have been muting at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Press to talk is one solution to that.
Got you. I'm over here watching the video. You know, the YouTube, and that's probably what the problem is.
Yep. All right. Well.
Okay.
We'll set up. We'll get this going and have you against a flurf. We'll figure out a good flurf for you to smush.
Smush. That's right. And smush they head in.
All right, Zion. Thanks for coming on, and everybody,
Thank you, brother,
for joining us.
Big shout out to all in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Much love to everyone. You know what I mean? Shalom, baby. Yo, Smusher Man.